we got this new transmission tower tools. They don't have to be used for transmission towers, by the way, so if you're using anything with these kind of complex bent angles and things like that I'm going to show, then of course you can use those on anything. They are available from the warehouse, so worth downloading and take a look at them. So they include layout tools, connection tools, bend creation, and complex bend connections, which I think are going to be useful for a lot of people in other situations as well. So let's take a look at the first bunch first of all. These are the actual sort of construction line tools, allowing you to sort of build the body of a tower in construction lines and allowing you then to work on that further by drawing from point to point, etc. Nice sort of very quick, easy to use tools. And if I just show this live, you can see you define the tower, the heights, the body, select the point where it goes from, where it goes to, and quickly then put together the sort of tower body light. So you can double click on that and change it as you expect. So in this case I'm going to put in some centerline indicators as well. So I've got the X's there to indicate the centers. We've also got the arm tool, which again I've put the X's in because I'm going to use those. So from bottom to top it'll draw in the arm again, which you can define what the size and angle and position of this is, like so. And to put this in here, you say, okay, what's the center of the tower? Outside edge at the bottom, outside edge at the top, and there you have your tower arm. So nice quick tools to put all that together. Nice, easy. Moving on from that then, we've also got a set of tools to create the correct views that's required for a tower. Typically towers require views looking on the planes, not vertical, but actually on the planes of the actual tower faces, and this tool does it automatically. If we just take a look at that, what we do is run the tool. We've selected it, knows the construction lines that we've created previously, and we say okay, create those views, and automatically it creates the views looking at all the correct faces. So again, if we just double click on one of these views, you can see then that's a view looking directly on that face, on that angle, so directly on the plane of the face as well as directly on as well. You can see that I've created all those views automatically, so left, front, side, right, bottom, etc. Again on the planes of the tower faces. Some nice tools here now. We've got the angle cutting tools, angle opening tools, and some gauge line tools. I'll explain these as we go through them. So if we take a look at this video, then what we've done is a tool for creating an opening such as this opening here, and if we go across, you've got the two angles crossing each other. Quite simply click on them, it'll create the appropriate gap. This next tool creates the opening, or sort of opens out the angle to accept the next one. Quite simply, all you do is select the piece, the incoming piece, and it'll automatically create the bent area for you, so you don't need to position it. It quite simply positions that for you. Again, notching these two parts together, a tool for notching these parts. You can see the flanges being knocked away. Great tool. And then again we can say set the gauge line. The gauge line, of course, the angle back marks for the holes. We can quickly draw some construction lines on there, showing us then where the holes should be with regards to gauge lines for that particular size angle. So nice set of quick tools there, especially the ones for the opening and things like that. Some new tools for bent members, bent angles, bent plates. These are fabulous tools that we've been requested a long time from our transmission tower users, but not only useful in transmission towers, but anywhere where you need to draw a member between two parts and join it, and without having to calculate what the sort of bent angles should be. Anyway, let me show you this, and it's easy to show them what it is to explain it. So the first option is to just draw a simple straight member from point to point and from part to part. Then that puts the piece in at the correct, and you can see then if we draw along there, we can simply draw those parts between. So what we do again, if we do that, we say from point to point, from part to part, and it'll draw that angle member in there between those two and put them at the correct sort of angle of the tower as well. Again, if we're drawing one diagonally, you can see there, change it to an outside face. So all the tools are there allowing you to quickly, dynamically draw those elements in. Quickly drawing using these sort of construction lines we created earlier as the outline for them. Now the bent plate command, which I love this tower bent plate, we can say okay, I want to do an element that goes from this element, this tower arm here to this one, from that point to that point, and it automatically then creates the bent plates at the correct angle between those two parts. And if I just rotate that angle slightly, you can see it dynamically alters itself to suit. And what we'll do then is we'll say, let's create that steel member from that point there to that point, and then from that bent plate to that bent plate. That creates a really nice complicated item between those pieces by simply clicking from part to part and point to point. I think this has got uses in a lot of other areas, not just transmission towers, but a nice quick way of modelling that. Same with the bent angle. You can select two parts and it'll automatically create an angle with a bend between them. Again, very useful on transmission towers, one of the major tools actually on transmission towers, but also really useful on other items as well. So all we need to do is select the element it's going from, so from this angle to the next angle, from point to point, and then it'll automatically create a bent angle between the two supporting members with the correct angles, bend on them and everything as appropriate.